Here's something most people don't know. Your brain starts physically shrinking in your 40s, not because of disease, just normal aging. By the time you're 70, you may have lost up to 5% of your total brain volume per decade. That affects memory, focus, and even your personality. But here's the part nobody talks about. What you eat can directly slow that process. And some foods do it better than almost any supplement on the market. Welcome to Longevity Lab, where we take the science out of the lab and put it right on your plate. I'm glad you're here. Today, we're covering 5 specific foods that neurologists and brain researchers consistently point to as the best protection against cognitive aging. By the end of this video, you'll know what to eat, why it works at the cellular level, and 3 things you can do today. No cost, no equipment required. Let's get into it. 1. Blueberries, the brain's best friend. Let's start with one of the most studied brain foods on the planet, blueberries. These small berries pack an enormous punch when it comes to protecting your neurons. The key compounds are called flavonoids, specifically a type called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue-purple color. And they do something remarkable inside your brain. They cross the blood-brain barrier, which is a protective filter that keeps most substances out of your brain. Once inside, they reduce oxidative stress. That's the cellular damage caused by unstable molecules called free radicals. They also reduce neuroinflammation, which is chronic low-grade inflammation in the brain that's now linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. A landmark study published in the Annals of Neurology in 2012 followed over 16,000 women for more than 2 decades. Researchers found that those who ate at least 2 servings of blueberries or strawberries per week delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years compared to women who rarely ate berries. That's not a small number. That's 2.5 years of sharper thinking, just from berries. A practical way to think about it: 1 cup of blueberries 3 times a week. That's it. You can add them to oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them straight from the container. Fresh or frozen. The research shows frozen blueberries retain their anthocyanins just as well as fresh ones. So if cost is a concern, frozen is your friend. 2. Fatty fish. Omega-3s that rebuild brain cells. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and the most important type of fat for brain structure is called DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, a type of omega-3 fatty acid. DHA is literally built into the membranes of your brain cells. Without enough of it, those cell membranes become rigid and less efficient at sending signals. Over time, that slows your thinking and memory. The best dietary sources of DHA are fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and trout. These fish are loaded with preformed DHA that your body can use immediately. A major study published in JAMA Neurology in 2016 found that higher omega-3 levels in the blood were associated with significantly larger brain volume, particularly in areas related to memory and learning. People with higher omega-3 levels also showed fewer brain lesions, which are small areas of damage that accumulate with age and are linked to cognitive decline. The researchers estimated that having higher omega-3 levels was equivalent to having the brain of someone 1 to 2 years younger. Neurologists generally recommend 2 servings of fatty fish per week. 1 serving is about 3.5 ounces, roughly the size of your palm. If you're not a big fish fan, sardines are actually one of the most affordable options, and they're incredibly nutrient-dense. Try them on whole grain crackers with a squeeze of lemon. If you're vegetarian or vegan, algae-based DHA supplements are a legitimate alternative. That's actually where fish get their omega-3s in the first place. 3. Leafy green vegetables. The Mind Diet's MVP. You've probably heard of the Mediterranean diet, but have you heard of the Mind Diet? It stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. It was specifically designed by researchers at Rush University to target brain health. And the #1 food category in that diet, the one that showed the strongest brain protective effect, is leafy green vegetables. We're talking about spinach, kale, collard greens, arugula, Swiss chard, and romaine lettuce. These vegetables are packed with several brain-critical nutrients: folate, vitamin K lutein, and beta-carotene. A study published in Neurology in 2018 tracked 960 older adults over an average of 4-7 years. Participants who ate the most leafy greens, about 1 to 2 servings per day, had cognitive abilities equivalent to people 11 years younger than those who rarely ate greens. 11 years younger. That's the difference between a 70-year-old brain and a 59-year-old brain from salad. The likely mechanism involves vitamin K, which plays a role in myelin synthesis, the protective sheath around nerve fibers. Folate helps regulate a compound called homocysteine, and high homocysteine levels are directly linked to brain atrophy and increased Alzheimer's risk. One serving is about 1 cup of raw leafy greens, or half a cup cooked. That's genuinely not much. A small side salad, a handful of spinach in scrambled eggs, or some kale wilted into soup. These all count. 4. Extra virgin olive oil. Liquid gold for your neurons. Extra virgin olive oil has been a staple of the Mediterranean diet for thousands of years, and modern neuroscience is giving us very specific reasons why. The most important compound in extra virgin olive oil, and this is the key word, extra virgin, is called oleocanthal. It's a natural anti-inflammatory compound. And here's what's truly remarkable. Research from the University of Louisiana, published in the journal ACS Chemical Neuroscience in 2013, showed that oleocanthal actually helps clear amyloid beta plaques from the brain. Amyloid beta plaques are the sticky protein deposits that build up in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Oleocanthal does this by increasing the production of proteins that help transport these plaques out of the brain. It essentially helps your brain take out the trash. A landmark clinical trial, the pre-DIEMD study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2013, followed over 7,000 adults at high cardiovascular risk. The group that supplemented their diet with extra virgin olive oil showed significantly better cognitive function over 5 years compared to the control group. Their risk of cognitive impairment dropped by about 35%. The type of olive oil really does matter here. Extra virgin means the oil was cold-pressed and not chemically refined. This preserves the oleocanthal and other polyphenols. Regular olive oil or light olive oil has most of these compounds removed. Aim for 2 tablespoons per day. Use it to dress salads, drizzle over vegetables, or cook at low to medium heat. 5. Walnuts. The brain-shaped superfood. It's not a coincidence that walnuts look like tiny brains. They're one of the most neuroprotective foods available, and the research behind them is genuinely impressive. Walnuts contain a unique combination of nutrients that work synergistically for brain health. Alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3, along with vitamin E, folate, melatonin, and polyphenols. That combination fights oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain from multiple angles simultaneously. A study from UCLA, published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging in 2015, analyzed dietary data from over 4,800 adults. Adults who ate walnuts regularly showed significantly better scores on cognitive function tests, including memory, processing speed, and concentration, compared to non-walnut eaters. The effect was dose-dependent, meaning more walnut consumption correlated with better brain scores. Researchers noted that even small amounts, as little as 13 grams per day, which is about a small handful or roughly 7 walnut halves, showed measurable cognitive benefits. A separate laboratory study found that walnut extract reduced the production of inflammatory markers in brain cells by up to 50%. Walnuts are also one of the richest food sources of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. And deep sleep is when your brain activates its waste clearance system, called the glymphatic system, which flushes out toxic proteins linked to dementia. So walnuts may support brain health during the day and brain cleansing at night. Add them to oatmeal, toss them in a salad, or keep a small bag in your bag or desk drawer for snacking. All right, let's make this real. Here are 3 things you can do today, right now, with 0 cost and 0 equipment. Action 1. Do a pantry and fridge audit. Open your refrigerator and your pantry right now, or after this video, and check if you have at least 2 of the 5 foods we covered: blueberries, fatty fish, leafy greens, extra virgin olive oil, or walnuts. If you don't, write them on your shopping list before you forget. Just 2 to start. Action 2. Swap 1 thing at dinner tonight. If you're cooking tonight, swap your regular cooking oil for extra virgin olive oil, or add a handful of spinach to whatever you're already making. One small swap builds a new habit faster than a complete diet overhaul. Action 3. Set a berry reminder. Pull out your phone right now and set a recurring weekly reminder, Tuesday and Friday, let's say, that just says blueberries. That one prompt can help you hit that 2 servings per week target that showed 5 years of brain age protection in the research. Small steps, done consistently, produce real results. That's the Longevity Lab approach. If this video gave you something useful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Every week we bring you research-backed strategies for living longer and sharper. No hype, no fluff. Next week, we're covering something that surprises most people: the 5 daily habits that neurologists say accelerate brain aging, and most of us do at least 2 of them without realizing it. You don't want to miss that one. See you next week.